Здравствуйте, добрый вечер. Меня слышно? Поставьте, пожалуйста, плюс, если слышно. О, отлично. Спасибо, Олег. Здравствуйте. Я предлагаю подождать еще буквально минутку и будем начинать. Сразу спасибо всем за то, что вы такие пунктуальные. Вы так рано включились. Ну, давайте начнем. Меня зовут Катя, я менеджер компании IT English, и сегодня мы с вами поговорим о релокации в Европу. Это менее популярная тема, чем релокация в Штаты и, возможно, в Канаду. Но я считаю, что тоже нужно знать, тоже нужно учитывать эту опцию. С нами сегодня будет общаться Татьяна, она наша ведущая. У нее есть два года опыта работы в IT-рекрутменте. Она расскажет много всего полезного и, главное, много практичной информации даст о релокации в Европу, о том, как пройти интервью, как получить голубую карту. Задавайте вопросы, если что-то непонятно, мы будем стараться отвечать в чате. Хорошего вам вечера и вебинара. Переключаю на Татьяну.
Hello, can you hear me? If you don't mind, we will be talking in English. So can you please add pluses in case you hear me? Okay, great. So my name is Tatiana. I am an English teacher. Actually, previously we had the echo also, but it will disappear in a few seconds. I hope there are no echo right now. Please add pluses if there are no. Okay, great. Once again, my name is Tatiana. I am an English teacher at T-English with experience in recruitment, and today we are going to talk about relocation to Europe, and mainly about relocation by means of Blue Card. Please note that on the right you can see the chat where you can add all the questions that you have. I'll do my best to answer them on the go. And also, I would highly appreciate if you will answer my questions if you have the answers. So during the webinar, I'll ask you questions as well. So let's get started. Relocation to Europe. In case you believe that you are a highly qualified professional and you are willing to relocate to some country of European Union, currently it is possible. The European Union Blue Card applies in 25 out of 28 European countries. The only 3 countries where Blue Card doesn't work are Denmark, Ireland, and the United Kingdom. So what is the Blue Card? Actually, that is both residence and work permit. That is quite suitable. Quite often, foreigners are afraid that they won't have the ability to have equal opportunities while living in the foreign country. If you have the Blue Card, it makes the things quite suitable. So you will be enabled to have equal working conditions. You will be able to study and have vocational training in European countries. Your diplomas will be recognized. You will definitely have social security. Since you're the foreigner, you will have several tax benefits, and you'll have the access to all goods and services, that's for sure. Speaking about duration, your blue card can be valid from 2 to 4 years with possible renewing options. In case you stay in the country for more than 5 years, you'll be able to apply for a permanent residence. Of course, taking into consideration 2 years, it means that the companies offering you probably blue card sponsorship will be offering you to sign the contract for more than 2 years. So people who are not willing to work for the same company for more than 1 year, unfortunately, a blue card won't be an option for you. Are there any restrictions? Unfortunately, yes. So you will have to relocate within 3 months after you have your blue card approval. Then, during 2 years, you won't be able to change the job, and you will have to stay in the same country for 18 months, unless you have some special approval or confirmation that you are able to move to another country. So you can also ask me if European Union countries set quotas on the number of non-European Union citizens. Yes, some European Union countries may set some limit on the number of the citizens who can get the blue card and relocate there. So it depends on each particular country. There are 2 possible options to relocate with the help of blue card. So the first is to find a sponsoring company, which is quite I would say easy and good. And second option is to apply by yourself. So let's concentrate on the first option. If you decide to find some sponsoring company, it will help you with all the paperwork. So it means that you will definitely have the chance to enjoy being taken care of, right? So it will also help you with all the issues with the arrival. It means that they can welcome you in the airport. They will also help you with finding an accommodation. So it is quite suitable, I would say. If you decide to apply by yourself, you need to apply for job seeker, or it is also called employment visa. Oleg asked any country, so yes, 25 out of 28 European Union countries are willing to provide blue card for highly skilled professionals. So the exceptions are Denmark, the UK, and Ireland. Let's move on. If you really decide to apply by yourself, you will get the job seeker visa. You'll be able to stay in the country for 6 months, and within those 6 months, you will need to find a job. In case you don't, unfortunately, you will need to come back to your native country. So I believe it is more suitable to find some sponsoring company or some company willing to help you with blue card here in your native country, rather than stay in some foreign country, unknown country, and only there look for some company to work at. Let's move to required documents. So there are several of them. The first is a filled application form. You will have it when you decide to apply. The next, and I would say that is crucial, to have the university diploma. You will need to have a diploma in computer science or a related field. It can be either bachelor's or master's degree, and it is one of the most crucial requirements, since it proves that you are really a highly qualified professional. Then you will also need to have work contract of at least 1 year in the hosting state. You will also need to have the proof of your salary exceeding by 1 times the average salary in the hosting state. Let me elaborate a bit on this required document. So why do you need to have that salary exceeding the average salary of some native citizens? So first of all, when the employer wants you to work at his or her company, it means that currently there are no available native citizens, highly qualified native citizens, to work at that company. And it means that you can actually probably take the place of a native citizen by working at that company. So the government of each country takes care of the native citizens, and that is the reason there is such a restriction. So your employer actually will need to prove that you are that highly qualified professionals and your skills are exceptional, and the employer requires only you to work for their company. Also, you will need to have a valid travel document, that is your foreign passport. Of course, 2 passport-sized personal photos, not older than 6 months. I highly recommend you to take a photo with the help of some professional. Why that? Because in such a way you will avoid any issues related with the photos. And of course, you will need to have a proof of application fee payment, that you actually paid for your application. I have a question. Yes, for your position. For the position, for example, you are a senior Java developer, there is some average salary for senior Java developers, and your salary should exceed 1.5 times the average salary senior Java developer receives in, for example, in this or that particular company. If you have any other questions, do not hesitate to put them here. Probably a question of whether your application can be rejected may arise. Yes, your application can be rejected. What are the cases? First of all, if you do not meet the conditions, for example, you do not have the university diploma, or you do not have the contract or anything like that, your application can be rejected. Secondly, if your application was based on incorrect or false information, it can also be rejected. In this case, one more plus of applying with some sponsoring company. So why that? Because actually they usually have some legal department or people who take care of the application forms to be filled in correctly. Also, your application can be rejected if you present a threat to public policy, public security, but I hope that is not the case with you. Let's move on. Then, if you do not have a university degree, which is of the utmost importance, in this case, 5 years of working experience in a particular profession can help you, but please mind that you will need to have employment verification letters from your previous employers where you worked for those 5 years, but it can work. So what is needed from the side of an employer? He or she needs to have a written declaration stating the reasons of employment and the benefits gained by this act. So your employer needs to be quite persuasive by that, because he or she will need to prove that you are a highly qualified professional. Probably sometimes they can look for some striking skills in your technical skill set. Like probably they can be unique. So in this, like, just do not be afraid of such questions, because they can arise since the employer will need to prove that you are a highly qualified professional and demanded on the market. Yes, computer science degree or any related field. If you have some degree in economy, unfortunately, it won't work. If you are, for example, a Java developer, or if you have a degree in teaching or whatever, it won't work, unfortunately. So how much does it cost? The application fee payment for issuance is just 140 euros. In case you need to renew your blue card, you will need 100 euros only. So if compared with application for H-1B visa, your employer will need to pay more than $2,000. So it is quite cheap. And again, one more plus, like benefit, if you decide on application with some sponsoring company, the sponsoring company will assist you here. They will pay for you. Okay. So how much time does it take? It takes up to 90 days till your case is processed. And in 90 days, you will definitely have the result. If your blue card is approved, if your application for blue card is approved or not. Regarding salary, so again, as I have already mentioned, you must earn at least the minimum salary set by the threshold. The threshold is different in various countries. These figures I have taken from Germany. So in Germany, annual gross income is 4,560 euros. So monthly you will get 3,380 euros. Since the salary are different, I would like to share the link to quite a useful website with you. I'm doing it right now, where you will be able to find the salaries in various countries, and what is more, you'll be able to compare all of them. If you want to change a job, you will need actually to work for the same company for the first 2 years, and after that you'll be able to change the employer, unless you have some special permission from national authorities. In this case, you will be able to change the job faster. And after 2 years, you'll be able to change the job, both jobs and the country. What can you do if you are unemployed? Of course, look for a job, right? And you can be unemployed no longer than 3 consecutive months. So if you are still unemployed after 3 months, your blue card may be withdrawn, and it means that you will need to come back to your native country. So can you actually work in other European Union countries? Yes, but you'll be able to do that after 18 months. You work at the same country company. And of course, you will need to reapply for the new blue card in the country you wish to move to. As I have already mentioned, yes, after 5 years, usually 5 years, depending on the country of residence, you'll be able to apply for permanent residency. But please note that one of the requirements is to have B1 level of the language the country uses, like native language. So if you are in German, you'll need to know, if you are in Germany, you will need to know German. So B1 level is required. So will you be enabled to travel to other European Union countries? Yes, you will be able to do this, but there is also a restriction. You will be able to visit any other country for up to 3 months during a 6-month period. So in 6 months, you'll be able to travel for 3 months. Regarding your family, yes, you are entitled to take your family to the country you want to relocate. Whom can you take? So first of all, your spouse, children, partner, children of your spouse, and other relatives dependent on you. And of course, you'll be able to take them as long as they meet all the conditions required to relocate. Now, I would like to ask you, where can you find a sponsoring company offering you the blue card? Do you have any ideas? I would highly appreciate you to provide the answers in our chat. Yes, indeed, it's one of the options. That's for sure. Thank you, Olaf. Any other versions? In case no, let me assist you here. These are various professional job boards, one of which are Indeed, which Olaf have already mentioned. Also, it can be Glassdoor, Monster, and any other. I believe one of the best means to find the job is LinkedIn. If you are already a blue card holder, you can just write in your title blue card holder, and I'm more than sure that hundreds of recruiters will contact you. And other social media are also applicable. I'm afraid that sometimes our professionals can face the challenge of translation when you decide to look for a job in some local job boards. So in this case, international job boards can work. And of course, LinkedIn. Let me elaborate a bit on typical application process with the company. So the first can be a pre-screening interview. It is 20 or 25 minutes conversation with a recruiter or an HR. However, it is optional. What can you expect from this interview? You'll be asked, first of all, about your motivation to relocate. So you should definitely be prepared and have a strong motivation. Secondly, you can be asked to tell about yourself, about your preferences, about stack of technologies sometimes. And sometimes you can be asked several technical questions even to see if you should proceed with the technical screening. The next step is a technical screening itself. I believe that you are all acquainted with technical screening and how it goes. But let me tell you about it a few words. So first of all, you can be definitely asked about your current project, about the stack of technology, stack of technologies that you use, right? And you will be asked a lot of questions about the technologies that the company and the project currently works with. So my strong suggestion, recommendation here is to have a thorough look at the job description. All the technologies which are mentioned there, you need to be prepared to talk about. I have a question, so what is a good answer about motivation question? Actually, it is very, I would say, personal. I had a lot of candidates answering this question, so some of them mentioned that well, you know, I just adore this country, for example, Germany, right? And I always wanted to live there, and I find your company a good chance for me to move there and stay there. Sometimes candidates mention that they have some relatives in this or that particular country and they want to unite, but you should be very specific about providing this information in case those relatives live far away from the city that the company is located. It is not the best motivation. You can always talk about the country, that is your preference. Also, you can always say that their company is a great chance for you to move there. So motivation is various. I had also a candidate who wanted to relocate to Canada, and his motivation was the bicycle park. It is found in Vancouver. It was one of the biggest in the world. He enjoyed it, and that is why he wanted to relocate there. So motivation can be various and different. Then the third step can be an HR interview. What should you expect here? Here you can expect some tricky HR questions, such as, again, why do you want to relocate? What are your strengths, weaknesses? What are your long-term aspirations, or what is your ideal workplace, or whatever? So in this interview, they want to get the information about you as a personality, if you are a cultural fit, if you are the person that can work at that company, if you have good soft skills, and a lot of other things. Then the next step is gathering all the necessary documents. And the last but not the least is the relocation itself. Regarding the necessary documents, we have already looked through them, so you know what you need to have. Then, what should you do before starting job interview process? Firstly, you need to carry out a thorough research on a company. Why that? Because sometimes interviewers can even ask you, what do you know about our company? And it would be really very strange if you know nothing. It will mean that you do not take care of yourself, and you do not take care where to relocate for and where to work at, right? So research is really important. Sometimes they can, if you are, for example, a UI/UX designer, you can be asked about their product. So you need to know a lot about the company that you are having an interview with. Secondly, you need to get ready for a technical screening. How can you get ready for it? The pain of all interviews, I believe, that is the question about data structures and algorithms. If you are a senior level candidate, you need to prepare it for sure. Of course, if you are, for example, C#, .NET, Java developer, so you definitely need to know a lot about data structures and algorithms. And you can always find some questions related to technical screening in Glassdoor. You can also find them in the internet. Sometimes the companies you are interviewing for can provide several technical questions on the internet. I saw some of the companies doing that. So all you need to do, again, prepare and do a research. Then you should prepare for tricky HR questions. There are a lot of web sources which can help you doing this. Do not hesitate to check HR questions in the internet. That will help you for sure. And the last, again, but not the least, is learning English. Why that? Because usually the international language, English, is always used in in communication within the co-workers. So you will need to know it for sure. Sometimes the companies do not want to, for example, you can be strong technically, right? Strong technically, but you do not know English. So it won't work in case you do not know English, since you won't be able to communicate with the other team members. I see several questions. Let me answer. Is it possible to apply without professional experience? Yes, it is, but you will need to have at least your diploma. I see that you have bachelor's degree. Yes, it is possible, but the problem will be to find a job there, since most of the companies are looking for at least middle-level employees, but not super junior candidates. That's unfortunately, but it is truth. However, if you are the lucky one and if you find any company, that would be great. But yes, it is possible. The next question is, what level of English do you think is minimum optimal for relocation? At least, I would say, strong intermediate level. When you have fluency and when you can communicate with not that many of mistakes. So the strong intermediate, upper intermediate, that's something that the companies are looking for. Let's move on. So we are moving to the practical part of our webinar. So before we start nailing your English, I would like you to answer this question. So what are two most usual interview questions to your mind? So I'm looking for your answers. Any ideas? Just a few seconds more. I see somebody is typing. That's fantastic. Just a moment. Yes, about your professional experience. That's for sure one of the most important questions and most frequent. Somebody else is typing. Yeah, about the salary. Yes, what is the salary that you'd like to have? By the way, I strongly advise you to prepare for this question about salary, because you will be definitely asked about this. So it is better to visit Glassdoor to see what are some average salaries. And to visit probably some other websites to compare the cost of living with the salaries that the companies provide. So that is a good idea. Two most popular interview questions are: tell me about yourself and tell me about your most recent project. I have one more question. Let me ask you: is it IELTS or TOEFL a must? No, it isn't. You just need to have fluency, and most usually your English will be evaluated during that first pre-screening interview. Actually, that is the reason there is this pre-screening interview, to check your English and to see if you are a fit technically wise. So IELTS and TOEFL is not a must, that's for sure. Let's move to interview questions. These are: tell me about yourself and your most recent project. So if you want to talk about your current project, we use present simple. Sometimes you can use present continuous, but not to have troubles with those ing, right, endings, we suggest to use present simple. If you talk about your past project, you can utilize past simple, that's for sure. I believe that that is not difficult for you, since we all know present simple and past simple. I won't stop here a lot. I would like to start task number 1. It is a task with multiple choice answers. So I'm starting it. I would be super happy if you start it and provide correct answers. Please let me know if you have it. I see somebody has already started passing it. Fantastic. There are more than 11 people in the group, so please join all the rest who have not started. In such a way, you can check your skills and see. I see that there are several people who have already passed it. Just 2 more minutes to finish the stream. I see that several people have already passed. So in case you can take this time to consider the questions that you have. If you have any, do not hesitate to put them in chat. So just really 1 more minute to finish the task. So let me click finish. Unfortunately, there are 9 who have not passed. I believe the reason is that you have started it a bit later. 6 of you have successfully passed the test with even a score 7 out of 7. So Maria, Bogdan, great job. Let's move to the presentation itself. So once again, if you want to talk about the current project, that is past simple. Past project, that is past simple. No difficulties here. Then probably a lot of people are scared and afraid of present perfect continuous, but no worries about it. You should definitely use present perfect continuous if there are such adverbial modifiers of time in the sentence as for and since. So when do you need to use present perfect continuous? We use it to talk about something you started doing in the past. You can continue doing this for some period of time, and if you are still doing it, that is present perfect continuous. For example, you started working as a Java developer 5 years ago in 2013, right? You worked as a Java developer for these 5 years, and you are still performing as a Java developer. You can use this sentence: I have been working as a Java developer for 5 years, or since 2013. What is the structure? That is have or has plus been plus verb, and the verb should have the ending ing. How we utilize for I, we use they, has for he, she, it. So again, if you have for and since, and you started doing something in the past, continue doing this for some time and you are still doing it, that is present perfect continuous. Actually, this sentence can be a good answer to the question, how long have you been working as a Java developer, C# developer, or automation tester? Your answer can be, I have been working as a Java developer for 5 years, or since 2013. In such a way, your answer can sound quite solid and quite good. In case so once again, the structure, let me move to the slide, have or has plus been plus the verb, and the verb should have ing. In case you have any questions, you can put them in the chat. Now I would like to test your skills. I have prepared one more test, so let me start it. I have already did. Please join. Let me know if everything is fine and if you are working. Can you please put pluses in our chat? I see. Okay, so please work. Again, this is multiple choice answers. Anastasia Tarasova, Natalia Felix have already finished, and they have finished the test with flying colors. 6 out of 6. Congratulations. Also, Olaf Polipchuk, you have 6 out of 6. That's great. The user, the participant who has the name Susie, you have also 6 out of 6. That's great. Okay, I believe that those people who have already finished, nobody is willing to join. So let me stop the test and let's move to the presentation. Back to the presentation. The next question you might have, where to apply for and where to use sin while using present perfect continuous. So for we use to talk about a period of time. For example, I have been poring over the code for 2 days and no success. I have been working as a trainee for a week. And since is applied to talk about some precise moment in the past. So I have been working as an automation tester since last year. I have been working on this part of code since 3 p.m. Again, 4 is used to talk about some period of time, and since about some precise moment in the past. I have prepared one more test for you. It is related to 4 and since. I have already started it. You can check your skills, your knowledge by means of it. Again, multiple choice answers. Do not hesitate to join. Thank you for active participation. I see that 6 of you have already finished. Almost all of you have passed with flying colors. Almost all have 6 out of 6. So seems to me that you're well versed in the difference. Let us allow 2 more minutes to wind up with the test. Okay, so you are done. Let me stop it and move to the presentation back. Of course, one of good pieces of advice is to prepare your CV before you actually decide to find some sponsoring company or to look for a job itself. In order to nail, to polish your CV, you can use some good phrases, structures on your CV. So you can have hands-on, extensive, or broad, or considerable, proven, or wide experience in, for example, C# solutions or whatever. Then your expertise can be extensive, considerable, and solid. For example, I have a solid expertise in all stages of software lifecycle development. Then your knowledge can be in-depth, solid, profound, vast, deep, extensive, practical. I have practical knowledge of automation testing, or I have deep knowledge of automation testing. Then you can have thorough, good, and excellent understanding of all stages of SDLC. You can have good insight into agile methodologies, for example, and you can be highly skilled in Java or JS solutions. So these colorful, let's say, words can make your CV richer and better, and it can stand out of the crowd with the help of adding such words. Then, if taken into consideration verbs, you can develop a project from scratch, like from the very beginning, and it is highly evaluated among various companies. It means that you have actually experience in all stages of software development lifecycle. Then you can take active part in project development. You can successfully or effectively deliver the project on time and within the budget. You can considerably or significantly enhance the speed of uploading, for example, by 2.5 times or any other. You can significantly and considerably improve project architecture You can effectively manage a team of 5 people. So if you have any verbs, they can also have those, let's say, powerful words. If you need them, do not hesitate to add to your CV. And if speaking about your skills, you can have excellent or good communication and interpersonal skills. You can have strong analytical and problem-solving skills, strong leadership skills, organizational excellence, team player. You can be able to act independently as well as a part of a team, which is again highly appreciated by various companies, because you, in this case, you are able to work as an employee with various experience. And the last test relates to your skills and to the vocabulary. You can check the way you work with vocabulary with the help of this test. I have already started. Please join. This is the last one. Thanks for taking part. About 2 minutes till all the participants finish it. Okay, 1 more minute. Almost all of the participants who finished scored either 5 or 4. Rarely we can see 3. So 5 or 4, that is an average rate. Okay, thank you for participation. Let's move to the presentation again. We are going to its end, so in case you have questions, do not hesitate to ask. The last but not the least, probably slide is about misunderstanding. So even though it is 21st century, there still can be problems with the connection. So in case you have them, you can ask the person you are communicating with such questions. So could you speak up? Not just speak louder. You can use this phrase, speak up. In case you are losing the person you are talking with, you can say, I'm losing you. Then, sorry, I'm afraid the connection is not the best. Can I call you back? Or can you call me back, please? So you can use these phrases. Regarding misunderstanding, if you do not understand the person you are talking with, first of all, let me pay your attention to the fact that you would definitely communicate with not a native speaker, because English is not native in most of the European Union countries. So please be prepared, at least mentally, that you won't be able to communicate with a native speaker. In case you do not understand the person you are talking with, you can say sorry. Sorry, that is the best word. It is short and you can utilize it. If you say what, like sure, unfortunately, it is rude way to ask the person to repeat something he or she mentioned. So sorry is better. Do not use what. It is rude. Then, in case there is misunderstanding more than 1 or 2 times, you can use something different rather than sorry. Just you can say, I'm not sure I followed. Could you please explain? You can also mention, could you put or say it differently, please? I'm sorry, but could you paraphrase or reword this question? I'm not sure, for example, that I follow you. Then, can you elaborate a bit on this, please? It is also applicable. In case you understood half of the question, you can ask the second part in this way. By this you mean I have to share my screen with you, right? Or do you mean that I have to share my screen with you by this? Am I right? So in case you understood the half of the question, you can just provide some clarification question. Do not be afraid to do this. It's all fine because, again, those people are not native speakers themselves. One important key to success is self-confidence. And an important key to self-confidence is preparation. Anytime when you have time to prepare, do not hesitate to do that, since it will definitely add self-confidence. And you will be more sure in your answers if you are prepared. That is the end of our webinar. I'm thanking you for active participation. In case you have some questions, you can still add them. You can wait for a minute or two. In case you have no questions, thank you again so much. It was, yes, we have a question. What is interviewer not native speaker and has strong accent? That is unfortunate, but usually the companies who take care of their reputation, they do not have those interviewers with strong accents. But if you have one, you need to be prepared at least mentally. You can ask the interviewer to type you the question, but it shouldn't be that often because that is not the best way to communicate with the interviewer. You just need to be very carefully and try to anticipate what they want from you. Probably some other questions, would be more than happy to assist. I see somebody is still typing, so that's great. Thank you too for your participation, and have a good evening ahead.